Brothers, this is for you. I want you to remember this acronym, BMI. BMI. What does BMI stand for? BMI stands for Black Male Independence. When you think of BMI, I want you to think about Killer Mike. Killer Mike has come under fire. Killer Mike, the rapper, the entertainer, the entrepreneur, the Pan-Africanist, the black man, the outspoken black man, the black man who has campaigned with Bernie Sanders, he has come under fire for meeting with the Republican governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp. Killer Mike, in the face of criticism from black liberals, black leftists, white liberals, and white leftists, sat down with Brian Kemp to talk about the economic situation, particularly that pertaining to small businesses in Georgia at large and Atlanta in particular. And what Killer Mike did by sitting down with Brian Kemp was to demonstrate the significance and the value of black male independence. What does that mean? Brian Kemp is not a popular Republican among black people. Brian Kemp is the person who beat Stacey Abrams in the gubernatorial race close to 2 years ago. Brian Kemp is one of those Republicans who has been guilty of fraud in terms of voting. Brian Kemp is one of those Republicans that fits the stereotype of white supremacy. But Killer Mike, in the face of that stereotype, met with him to deal with the situation of businesses, black businesses, but business really at large in Georgia, in the face of what we're dealing with, the COVID-19. And by doing so, he exerted black male leadership. Black people are a minority in this country. We are 13% of the population. We are ruled by a white governing majority. If you live in the South, if you are a black person, you deal with a Republican majority. You vote Democrat. Blacks have voted that way. But blacks deal with a Republican majority. And what does that mean? That means that black people do not have the luxury of sitting on the sidelines and waiting for Democrats to come into power. Black people have to deal with whoever is in power. You put demands on whoever is in power. Killer Mike demonstrated that regardless of what kind of state you live in, whether you live in a majoritarian Democratic state like New York, or you live in a majoritarian Republican state like Georgia or Alabama, you deal with power and you put demands on power in terms of your needs, in terms of your economic needs, in terms of your educational needs, in terms of your health needs, in terms of criminal justice, in terms of what we're dealing with COVID-19. You do not have the luxury of playing an ideological game. You do not have the luxury of playing a party politics game, Democrats versus Republicans. And what I need black men to do, I need black men to take this example as we go forward. It does not matter who becomes the president or who retains the presidency. this year in November, we must deal with power as it stands, regardless of ideology. BMI, Black Male Independence.